Papa was a private detective, and he worked in Beloit, Wisconsin. And he was working with the little girl that solved the problem. They couldn't find her mother. She didn't show up. She didn't show up, and the little girl had a dream that the mother was buried under a telephone pole or something. And it's told Papa, and Papa paid attention to her, and sure enough, they found the mother right where the little girl dreamed she was. And it made the headlines in some paper in Beloit, Wisconsin, I believe it was. And while he was there, my mother, and they had a house in Astoria, Illinois, right across the park. And I guess I was little then. And Max, I took sick. I had the measles, the bad measles. And my mother told Max to wire your dad and say, come home at once, Betty's sick. And Papa showed up immediately. And when he came in the house, I had that contagious disease, and he couldn't leave. He was there. I don't know whether he went back to his private detectives or not, but he was quarantined with me, and they had a terrible time keeping me out the dark for fear that the disease settles, hurts your eyes.
Measles?
Well, I had it.
Measles?
Measles. The bad measles. Mm-hmm. If you don't want to be out in the light, you want to stay in the darkened room, somehow or other it hurts you. I may have damaged my own eyes that way. They couldn't keep me down.
Tell about how you were in foster homes.
Oh, I was in several foster homes, and everyone was good to me. I was in Peoria, Illinois, in the Todd Duff, the Duff House with Mickey and Catherine, and we danced on the stage. I lived there for one winter, went to school, and anyway, we were on the Hale Shows of Tomorrow, the carnival, that was the name of it, and they played Hale, Missouri. And when they played Hale, Missouri, we happened to get a room up there at Emma Johnson's. And Aldy and George had been out on the carnival with us. They had the concession. She run the duck pond, and he had a high striker. And Grandpa George had said to my dad, I was 13, and said she ought to be in school. Can we keep her for the winter and send her to school? And Papa said if she wants to stay, she could stay. And so I stayed with them, thinking for the winter that I would just go to school at Hale, Missouri. I stayed at Emma Johnson's house, which was Aldy's mother. And somehow or other, I guess I just fell in love with everything, her and the house and the town. And when it come time for the carnival to leave, I stayed in Hale. Papa said you can stay here and be with them, but there'll never be an adoption. And the paper said later that I never left the house of Emma Johnson for the next 10 years. I stayed there in Hale, went to school, went to college, taught school, and I didn't leave Hale till I think I was around 23 years old. That was my one of them, the main adoptive home.
But when you first went to Hale, the kids weren't nice to you, were they?
No, not at first.
Why?
No, and the parents didn't want them associating with me either.
Why?
Well, because I was off the carnival. They didn't believe in the carnival. Hale was a very strict town. They didn't have a dance hall. They didn't have a beer joint. They were very strict like.
And they took you to church?
Well, no. I went to church because I wanted to.
And who taught you at church?
Huh?
Who taught you at church?
Oh, well, the main one that taught me was
Lena Ruth.
Lena. She run the feed shop downtown.
Lena Ruth?
Miss Lena. No. And she was...
Beaker. Miss Beaker?
Well, Beaker was our principal. Miss Beaker was the one that... She said, Betty, you need to go to college. I said, I can't afford that. She said, your friends are going and you're as smart as they are. You need to go to college. She says, I'll take it. I'll pay for you. She took me to Warrensburg, got me a room, paid my $2,000. Loretta Baker is the one that put me through college, my principal in high school.
And your mentor with Bible study was?
And what?
Who was your Bible study mentor?
No, Francis Hawkins and Lena Heron.
Lena Heron.
Lena Heron. And they taught me that Bible. We had what they call a sword drill. That's where you have to know the verse. You hold the Bible in your hand. You know the verse. You know where it's found. You open the Bible, you find and then you step forward. And they had contests all over our county. And Hale, Missouri won first prize in the county on Bible drills. Because they had Lena Heron to teach it. Boy, she'd after school, she'd get a hold of me, and boy, she really taught me that Bible. Francis Hawkins helped her.